Hey there, Heather, ho there, Chef Carter Diamond. Welcome to yet another OTP. Yeah, right. Stone Cold Hockey video for the 83-84 season, where we are simulating the Edmonton Oilers, trying to get them to win the game. All that. Um, we're 32, 18, and 3, which is pretty good. 67 points. We lead the top team in the conference by 5 points. Calgary is second. Winnipeg and Vancouver battling it out for third. LA has nothing, and I mean nothing. In the north, it's Minnesota, St. Louis, Chicago, and Detroit. Going top four with Toronto also getting there too, trying to chase Detroit for fourth. In the Wales, we have Buffalo and Boston looking pretty good with 70 plus points. Montreal also doing well, so is Quebec. All those teams do not even have 20 losses yet. Hartford is way back at 36 points. In the Patrick, you have Washington, New York, Islanders, and Philly doing their jobs. Pittsburgh and New Jersey, not so much. Pittsburgh is trailing the last playoff spot by more points than their scoring points. Anyway, we do have the high scoring goal scorers. Wayne Gretzky with 40, with Pierre LaRouche and Michel Goulet at 39 each. We have 16 30 goal scorers. Curry's 13 for 31. Um, Paul Coffey's 24 for 26. Points wise, Gretzky 109 points, with Michel Goulet 83. Paul Coffey's third with 80. Uh, Goes against Al Jansen 214 ahead of Toporasa Pat Regan. So Washington's got a 1-3 guys. So anyway, yeah, Washington. So yeah, you got the standings wise. We've played 53 games. Some teams have played 56. The fewest is Calgary with 52. Points percentage, which does tell us kind of a story, doesn't really tell us a story. We are 16-81 at home, the most home wins in the conference, 16-10-2 on the road, the most road wins in the conference. Well, 32 wins. Only Buffalo, Boston, Washington, and New York have more wins than we do. 16 wins on the road, that ties them with Washington. Highlights wise, you got all that. 54 hat tricks. Mark Taylor had a hat trick, but he's lost the game, and Dan Knowles as well. So, anyway, memorable games. We have 16 games at the 30 mark. New Jersey beating Toronto, most memorable one for their first win, 7-6 after Toronto looked good at 6-3 and choked it. St. Louis Winnipeg, December 23rd. It was a big battle royale. St. Louis Montreal, January 7th, when St. Louis was down 5-2, but scored 6 goals in the third period off Rick Wamsley. Hartford Calgary, January 13th, when Calgary was up 5-1 over Hartford. Hartford scored 5 straight goals. And then Toronto LA, October 8th in that game. Our highest point total game was 33, Hartford Edmonton. Schedule wise, we now have to go to Washington on a Sunday night. Two big boys battle each other. Eddie Bogue and that against Al Jansen. So they go with Jansen instead of Regan. Mason and Pearl are always there. But yeah, Al Jansen is your guy. Uh, for us, the Edmonton Oilers, we have Wayne Gretzky, the great one. We have Glenn Anderson. You have the original Finnish Flash being Jari Kurri. Paul Coffey, Kitchener. Yeah, former Kitchener Ranger. Mark Moose Messier, Pat Hughes, Davey Hunter, Willie Lindstrom, Ken Linsman, The Rat, Dr. Randy Gregg, Euro Pusar, Charlie Huddy Doo, Kevin McClelland, Donnie Jackson, Dave Lovely, Dave Semenko, the Protector, Lee Vogelin Jr., Kevin Lowe, Pat Conacher, Rick Chartra, Kitchener, Ken Perry, Rhino Suminen, and Jim Playfair. Known for his YouTube video. Washington with Mike Gardner, 700 goal scorer for Washington, Minnesota, New York, T. Dot, and Arizona. Bank Gustafson, Dave Christian, part of the American Ice team. Bobby Carpenter, a hotshot that when traded to the Rangers, he lost everything in a sense. Alan Holloway, Bobby Gould, Craig Lachlan, Gaetan Duchesne, remember the North Stars. Larry Murphy, a good defenseman. Scott Stevens, Kitchener. Yeah, I remember Scott Stevens was a Washington Capital one time. Dougie Jarvis, the original Iron Man for hockey. Glenn Curry. Glenn Curry. Brian Erickson, Butsy as they call him. Rod Langway, who the Habs regretted trading away to Washington at the end of the 82 season because Langway won back-to-back Norris trophies for Defenseman of the Year. Derek Vitek, Chris Valentine, Dave Shan, Peter Anderson, Greg Adams, Timo Bloomquist, Greg Verberge, Gary Sampson, and Paul McKinnon. Here we go. 4 minutes into the game. They have a chance to score? No, they don't. 4 minutes later. We have a chance, but we don't score. Much later. Have a chance for us? No. 4 minutes. 1-0 Washington after 20 minutes. 6 minutes later. No. No. 2 minutes. Deliver hit. 3 minutes later, Edmonton takes the penalty. It's Folkland. Finally a penalty. 3 minutes later. Washington? No. Action. Skiers. Mr. Hughes, his 16th from Curry and Linsman. Up, Langley gets whacked by Linsman, of course. And no. I know. We're only down 2-1 after 40 minutes. The last, yeah, I know. The last thing was, we kept getting attacked, but fortunately, though, no penalty. So what? Kill the clock. Gotta kill the clock. That's it. Go ahead. On the power play skier, the great one, 41, with Coffee McClelland's assist. McClelland. And the opponent watched it 2-2. And no, the loser point doesn't happen. So if we lose in overtime, we don't get a point. Washington got Stevens, but we can't score a goal to save our lives. It's a 2-2 tie. So that's what happens. We end up tied. Homer for goal for Washington, but Hughes and Gretzky are going to score for us. So we tied it at 2. So yeah, so we tied 2-2. Well, I guess it was kind of a thing here. So we tie Washington. The only trouble is that because it's a tie, we have to simulate the next game against the Cupcakes. And we win 6-5 as Moog beats Smith. Their goals by Sutter, Brent Sutter, LaFontaine, Dwayne Sutter, Brent Sutter again, and Kalor. Our goals by Messier, Gretzky, Jackson, Lindsman, Anderson, and Davey Hunter. Yeah, we to watch that tie 2-2. Edmonton. That's their job. They're in Philadelphia. So we're in Philadelphia as Moog will come in. And he'll face Pelle Lindbergh, who's just getting his footing in North America. Him and Bob Froze are the goalies for the Flyers, who are 27, 23, and 3. And the simulation were 33, 18, and 4 in ours. Flyers have Tim Kerr, master of the power play goal. Brian Propp, one of the best junior players of all time. Davey Poulin. Nico Salo. Daryl Sittler still in Philadelphia after basically the Leafs got rid of him. Bill Barber. Kitchener. Yeah, that's right. Bill Barber was a Kitchener Ranger at one time. Mark Howell, who was known for being part of the Howell brothers' feat in the WHA. Still around. Ron Sutter, part of the Sutter brothers with Rich. They're twins, Ron and Rich Sutter. Lots of Sutters. Bobby Clark still around. I think this was his final season. This was. Thomas Erickson. Len Hashborn, a teammate of Gretzky's with Bradford Minor Hockey. Paul Holmgren, a pretty decent player of his own. A legendary player. And coach Ray Allison. Doug Crossman, Glenn Cochran, Muriel Dvorak, Russ Fitzpatrick, Brad Marsh, Paul Guay, Dave Brown, the Hammer and the Discipline Challenge, Daryl Staley, excuse me, Lindsey Carson, and Brad McCrimmon, R.I.P. Early on, we scored. Doctor, what can you prescribe for me? His fifth from Pusar and Curry. Of course we would. But we don't give him a goal. 5 minutes later, enforcer and a fight between Donnie Jackson and Daryl Stanley. It hurts us because Daryl Stanley, who the fuck is he? 3 minutes later, we score! Doctor, I need more morphine. His 6 from Hughes and Linsman. Of course, take medications when you have to. 2 minutes later. Four minutes later. The Rescuers. The Great Ones, 43rd. Ken Berry with the assist. Did I talk about Ken Berry? I think I did. Oh, that's a weird name. We're at 3-1 after 20 minutes. 2 minutes later. Skillers. Mr. Anderson. His 26 from Moose and Linsman. 5 minutes later. Skiller. The Great Ones done it again. His second of the night from McClellan and Coffee. And guess what? We're going to see a goalie change. Bob Froze has coming in. The 5-goal rule is in effect. Shitskiers. Coffee, no way. I'm an ice cap guy. And Again, I say this. Kitchener! It's 27 from Moose and Hughes. Makes it 6-1. Oil drops. 4 minutes later. Whittington, McLellan. We're up 6-1. Just keep the faith. Alright. Bob popped up the goal. I agree. Lane Thomas. 5 minutes later. They have a chance, but they don't get it. 5 minutes later. Chance for coffee. Damn it. 2 minutes later. They have a chance, but no. Much later. With 1 second left, Charlie Huddy from Gretzky. And we take out the Flyers quite easily, 7-3. That was a little too easy. 2 from Greg, 2 from Gretzky. And then Anderson, Coffee, and Huddy with singlets. Good old Coffee. 7-3. So we take out Philly quite easily. A little too easily. So we're in Boston. We have a massive road trip. We're in Boston at the Boston Garden. 2 good teams. We're going to Grant Fury net against Doug Keens. He's a keener. Pete Peters should be enough for Boston, honestly. And Mike Moffat, who 2 years prior, had been a Boston goalie icon in the playoffs, basically fell off the map. Anyway, Boston's got Rick Middleton. Boy, the Rangers would like to get rid of that trade. Barry Pedersen, the 50-goal scorer who the Canucks wanted in exchange for Cam Neely. We all know how that happened. Ray Bourque, number 70 programs, not 77, not till 87 at least. Tommy Fergus, Mike Krushelewski, future Oiler. Keith Crowder, Craig McTavish, Mac T, the future Oiler, who spent a year in jail. Mike O'Connell, Nevin Markward, what a name. Davey Silk, part of the American Ice team. Terry O'Reilly, Taz, still around. Lord Kulisak, great defender, terrible D's. Bruce Crowder in there. Mike Gillis, Luke DeFore, Brady Hillier, Steve Casper, Dave Donnelly, Jim Nill, Doug Kosnowski, Mike Melbury's still around. That guy? Fuck. Point 2, Guy Lapointe. Definitely did not deserve to be in a Boston uniform. Landon Byers, Snowforest Greenery, and Greg Johnston. 4 minutes into the game. We get too aggressive. It is Moose. O'Connell gets hit. Miles O'Connor. Someone is killed. They have a chance? No. Blue dice. 2 minutes later. Jet ski. Doctor, I need some Prozac. His 7 from Anderson. 5 minutes later. One minute. After 1 period, we're down 2-1. 5 times left. Yeah, we have 24 games left. We have to be 23-0-1 to hit that mark. Silk, no. England. Waiting for the inevitable. We're pretty much in the game. We have to. You have to. 5 minutes into the period skills. Coffee, no thanks. I'd rather have an ice cap. Catch an error. It's 28 from Hunter. Edmonton skills. Willie Lindstrom. Willie Lindstrom from Curry and Messi makes it 5-3. 5 minutes later. New Chetski, it's 5-4. Cody Dom. The finish flash is 30 seconds from Lowe Gretzky. 5-4. Go ahead. We'll be okay. Gresham. Empty net opportunities. We were close though. I thought we were going to pull it off, but we were down 5-4, but we couldn't get it done. Only 3 penalties and none to Boston, so we lose the game, and we can't simulate the 18 losses in real life. Well, in real life, this will be number 19. So we lose in Boston. We were supposed to head to Hartford, but since we lost, we have to simulate. And we lose in overtime to the Whalers. If you were losing to Stanikowski, we were up 3-0. Curry, Gregg, and Gretzky. I mean, I know Gretzky got a hat trick, but we botched it. Solomon in the empty net, and then power play, Sylvain Turgeon, thanks to Kevin McClellan. Damn it, Hartford. Why do you have to be so hard on us? Quebec. So I guess we're going back home, right? Yeah, we're back home to face Winnipeg. So after that February jaunt, we have 72 points, 9 points ahead of the Flames for second in our division. Winnipeg third, Vancouver fourth, LA 22 points back. Minnesota and St. Louis are having a battle in the North. Chicago and Detroit are also coming close. The Leafs are 5 points back. And the Adams, Buffalo leads Montreal, who snuck past Boston, with Quebec in fourth. Quebec's 30 points back. Hartford's 30 points back. In the Patrick, we have Rangers and Washington, finally 2 for now. Washington's losing it. Islanders 71, Flyers 61. Devils and Penguins are playing the Turtle Derby. So anyway, Wayne Gretzky, 47 goals. He leads all goal scorers. Yuri Curry's 12 for 33. And Paul Coffey's got 28. Well, Curry's tied for 12. A lot of points. Jansen, Barrasso, Peters are your 3 stars for goaltending. Boston, I'm surprised didn't use Peters. There's no one. Pat Regan's 4th. That's a good tandem. Logan Fuhrer are 11th and 13th in goal. That stuff. So anyway, yeah. So anyhow, that's how it plays out. Pretty much. Anyway, I'm jumped. I'm gonna do.